Hey, what's up, guys and gals? My name is Rick 9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about I Love Lucy. More specifically, about the 10th episode of I Love Lucy called Lucy is Jealous of a Girl Dancer. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and I really hope you're having a wonderful day. But I wanted to entertain you, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel so I can keep making videos just like this. It's free to do so, and I do hope that you continue to enjoy them. Now, in this episode of I Love Lucy, this is really early on in the series. As I mentioned, the 10th episode, and it aired December of 1951. Well, there is an article in the Daily Mirror that is talking about Ricky having a quote-unquote affair with a woman called Rosemary. Now, she happens to be the new club dancer, and Lucy is furious and jealous as well. Now, Ricky tries to reassure her and tell her that the story is merely a publicity gimmick. Now, later, when Ricky accidentally tears a piece of Rosemary's lace costume while they're dancing and practicing, he puts it in his pocket without really realizing it, where Lucy finds it and thinks that he is having a little bit of an affair. So, believe me, with what was going on behind the scenes with the real Desi and Lucy, you might think that this episode's a little cringy. I don't think so. I think it's actually pretty funny and pretty silly and fun to watch. It doesn't really bother me at all, and it is pretty interesting. But I don't want to talk about that portion of it. I want to talk about a very interesting topic, and that is Desi's accent. Now, while Desi Arnaz was in real life married to Lucille Ball, he played her husband as well as really being her husband. But very interestingly enough, his accent was very real. But what he tried to do whenever he was on camera was to lessen his accent. He would even speak slower and would try to enunciate a little bit better. It wouldn't always happen, but he would try to enunciate where he could so that the audience and people watching could understand him a bit better. And this episode kind of marks the beginning where Lucy begins to make fun of Ricky's English. She says a line where she repeats the words, "All right, go ahead," and she says, "splain," right, instead of saying explain. And everyone kind of laughs. And again, it becomes kind of a staple of the show where she makes fun of his English. Now, why is this very important? Well, the people behind the scenes realized and said something about this, and they revealed that Desi Arnaz was really self-conscious about him speaking English. And this isn't something absurd. I mean, anyone who has a language as their second language will always be a little bit insecure. And this is the same for Desi. He was Cuban, and so his first language was Spanish. Later on in his life, he learned English. And so he had a thick accent, and he was very sensitive about the way he spoke. And he didn't really like the idea of people making fun of him. In fact, the writers, they didn't start out writing lines that poked fun at him. But off camera, as I mentioned, Desi would speak a lot faster, thicker accent. That was his more normal way of speaking. But it became easier for the writers to really gauge what he liked into the writing and into the scripts. And they began to be very careful about what they would put in there. Keep in mind that Desi Arnaz was not only working with the writers, he was the writer's boss. So he was the boss. They didn't want to anger the boss, hurt his feelings, or make him unhappy in any way. So they had to walk that fine line between comedy and the wishes and feelings of Desi Arnaz. Now, the audience was on a similar wavelength to what the writers were trying to do. They really were only receptive to the jokes where they were making fun of Desi, or Ricky's English, that is, because in this case it was the character. They would only be receptive to when Lucy did it. There are a few lines in the series earlier on where you would see Ethel and even Fred kind of make fun of Ricky and his English, and no one really laughed. I've heard those, and remember, this is a live audience laughing, and then when Lucy does it, that's when they laugh. And I think the idea of a wife kind of poking fun at the husband poking fun at the wife, vice versa, that makes more sense than someone else, right? Because when it's someone else, it's almost like they're looking or talking down at him. But a husband and wife denotes an equality there. So they can, quote unquote, poke fun at each other. It's almost, if you think about it, like when Fred and Ethel bicker at each other and everyone laughs, right? But if Ricky would say something to Ethel, you probably wouldn't laugh, right? Because they're not married. So it's an interesting take. It's an interesting way to think about the relationships that the characters had, and it was really interesting to put this at the forefront, especially in this video. So make sure to check the next time you listen to I Love Lucy and hear any episode and any specific scene where they're making fun of Desi, or that is Ricky, and his English. Notice that it'll pretty much only be Lucy, as let's just say 98% of the time it was Lucy. The other times it was Fred or Ethel, and it was not taken upon in a good way by the audience. But in this case, it was really well done when Lucy did it. So I want to know your thoughts down below. Did you ever notice that? Did you like when she made fun of his English and his accent? I'd love to know your thoughts down below, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I've seen you. I know those who haven't subscribed. It really does help me out, so this is your chance to help out the channel even more. We'll see y'all next time, and don't forget, everyone, stay positive and be hopeful. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters, especially my Diamond tier patrons: David D, Jerry D, Citizen Kane 359, Kevin K, Russ C, Sally N, and Vito L. If you want to be on this patron list, make sure to check out the links in the description below. Thanks so much.